Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester. My name is Junior, and we are still continuing building the Kiwi Falcon 5-foot scale Millenium Falcon by Darrin Hurd. Thank you, Darrin, again for allowing us access to your files and giving it to us for free. We're all sharing in the glory of your design. Just a reminder, guys, if you want to, Darrin is not charging for any of these files, but please, if you want to show your appreciation, he does have a link on buying him coffee or anything that you might want to feel like showing your appreciation for his work. And also a reminder that this is what I call a living design. Darrin is still in the process of finishing this design or completing this design, so he is making some changes sometimes just to make sure everything is accurate or everything is working as he intends them to be. Okay, so for this particular section, we are going to be talking about the docking section. The format of this video is I will show you the finished results, and then I will show you how I am putting it on the frame. And afterwards, if you are curious of how I built it and everything, following that video or following that section of the video will be me opening up the files and then arranging how I am gluing things together, and then the rest of the video will be a speed run in case you want some sort of visual confirmation of how I'm doing things, and then that'll be it. That's the end of the video. I'm gonna try to squeeze it in as quickly as possible, about 30 minutes or so if I can. Anyway, here we go. So here is the finished process. So this is the starboard side, and I can't remember, I believe this is the bottom side, so just to let you guys know, and everything. So this is the one with the docking ramp. And yes, Darrin is still in the process of designing an open docking ramp, so we will have to stay tuned on that. And I don't know if he will redesign the frame so that when you have the docking ramp open, you would be able to see through the ship. But if it does, all you'll be seeing anyway is the interior, and obviously we don't have an interior for this part. And this is the top part of the starboard section of the docking port, and this is basically the docking ring with the docking doors. All right, and basically what happens is you will basically screw this into that, and then you will attach magnets to here and here and that one, and it will attach like that. This is the port side, so we'll go like this. And for this one, I don't know if this is the top or the bottom. I can't remember. I think this is the bottom one. Yes, this is the bottom of the port section of the docking ring. Okay, and here is the bottom. I should have been paying attention, watching, making sure you guys are seeing it. So anyway, it's pretty self-explanatory, but again, if you are curious, the third section of this video will show me laying out in sections and everything. So, and this is the ring part. I think this is actually the starboard, and this is the port. If you're not sure, you know, always refer to the initial design by Darrin. All right, that's it. Let's go outside and start putting this on the frame. Alright, so we're outside, and I'm only going to show you the starboard side, and to be honest, this is the alternative method that I'm gonna do. I was initially doing a second method that I thought was safer, which is basically to remove this and then put it in. But that failed because once I put in the two over here, I no longer had access to these two screw holes and I couldn't secure it. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is this method. Basically this is secure, and we're gonna basically put in the docking port, and I'm gonna do it from the outside, from the back. The reason why this is kind of scary is this, as you can see, it's kind of wedged over here, and you're kind of forcing these two pins in here, and you're gonna have to kind of bend it, not bend it, but like wedge it in there. And I'm afraid because of the printing process, it's printing this way, that this might break off. So be very, very careful. I don't know if this method is the correct way of doing things, of putting it in. It's just, this is me doing it, so be careful. Some other people might have a better idea, or you might have a better idea. So this is me doing it, and not necessarily, and not, it's not, may not be the best way of doing things. So this basically slots in here, and when you, what you'll notice is that, see, this tab is actually outside of things, so we have to put this inside the frame. So I'm basically having to kind of flex things a little bit and try to slip it into the frame, and I don't want to break the tabs. That's the problem. So I don't want to force it. Okay, it's in. That's it. Just be very careful when you're putting it in. Make sure this is aligned. I'm not going to screw it in right now. I'll do that later. Let me do the other side. Okay, so this is aligned there. You can see, again, the tabs are outside, so we just have to push it in. Yeah, you'll see it once you have yours in hand. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I think that's the only way to do it. There's enough flex in the plastic so it's not gonna break, but be aware that's basically the print line going this way, so that's the weakest. You don't want to bend that too much. And let me just screw it in. I'll be right back. Alright, so it's kind of screwed in loosely. I'm not going to tighten it. I'll explain why. Then we're going to go ahead and attach this one. To be honest, I don't know which one's the top one, which one's the bottom part of this one. Hold on a second. Alright, so just as a reminder, when you're putting this in, if you're not sure, this is the starboard because I marked it. If you're not sure which one's up and down, on the starboard side, where the damage is, that's the bottom. Where there's the two holes here, that's the bottom. Right? So this is incorrect. This damage should be on the bottom of the starboard. And my bottom is this way, so I'm gonna screw this in. Then finally, making sure that you've oriented your magnets when you put it in, just go ahead and finish this and that's it. Now the other thing I wanted to show is, I'm not entirely sure if I should have done the docking port first without attaching the other parts. There is no set information of which panels go in first and everything. So the good thing is, in the end, everything is detachable again. The reason why I'm saying that is this feels like a lip, like an overlapping lip, meaning that this goes above something. That's what it feels like to me. I'm not entirely sure until I print this part out. In which case, I may have to remove this, install the panel that goes in here, and then put this on. But that might be the same case as this one, but this is all just magnets anyway. So again, this is my method of doing things. I'm not entirely sure if I'm doing it in the right order, but that's just how it ended up being. The reason why I'm doing the docking port first is that I thought that would give me the anchor to do the bottom part and then later on the top part. So yeah, that's it for this part. Stick around. This next section is now gonna deal with attaching the panels into the docking frame. All right, so here I am at my computer, and this is the Kiwi Falcon directory. We're gonna go to the docking tubes in part 03. Gonna open that up, and what we're going to do is we're gonna open up all these 3MF files that Darrin graciously set up for us. This is the docking frame, docking port lower, docking port upper, docking ring port, docking ring starboard, docking ring starboard left, lower, docking ring starboard upper. These are just mine that I made up on my own, and this is the instructions, just in case you guys are wondering where the instructions are. Anything that might be missing here, I don't remember what it could. Check out these 3 files, but I always just open this one first and go from there. So the docking frame, I've already set it up. Docking frame, that's the docking frame. So the docking frame, this is 2 parts, but only comprises 1 part, meaning it's either gonna you have to print this 4 times for the starboard up, starboard lower, port up, port lower. But here's the thing, depending on when you're watching this video, it could be right after Darrin has finalized the connecting the Falcon to an engine stand. Now, the engine stand, it's a different subject, and I don't want to go into it, but remember I told you you need to print 4 of each one of these. Well, he modified this one for the port section, meaning that for the port section you don't want to use this one. He modified the shape to fit a certain object for the engine stand. So in the end, when you're seeing this, you only need to print this 2 twice for the starboard side, and for the port side you want to go into his modified file. I don't know what it is because he hasn't sent it out yet, and you need to look for what it looks like, exactly like this, except this one has a cut here, and that one you need to print twice, 1 for the port upper, 1 for the port lower. Okay, now the other ones, the other files that I talked about, the docking port lower, the docking port upper, let me show you what that looks like. This is the docking port upper, which is the panels that will connect to those boxes. This is the docking port lower, I should say. And then this is the docking port upper. As you can see, it's all set up for you. All you have to do is slice it and then send it to your printer. And finally, for the port, there's your ring and everything, the docking ring. Starboard side is basically exactly the same thing, except it's starboard. So that should be pretty self-explanatory. Now let's go ahead and print it out, and let's go to the next section. Assembly. So usually when I do something like this, I like to lay out my pieces so it's much easier for me, so I'm not like reaching in and everything. Now this part, Darrin designed this so they're somewhat interlocking. You cannot just put it this way. It doesn't go this way. It needs to go this one first, and then this one lays on top like so, and then you slide it in. Why? Because as you can see, there's an angle in here, and there's an angle for this one. So you can't just do it like this. It's gonna mess around with it, right? So what you want to do is lay this down. You might want to glue it or something. Just play with it first. This one goes like this and then slides in like that. And then you want to deal with the side parts. Now the side parts, they don't go on top of this piece, they go below it, so it seems like you're going to be sliding it like that. So this goes to the side but underneath this panel. The reason why, I'm not sure if this is going to show or how easy it will be to show this. As you put in the upper panel to the actual frame, you will see that they actually go a little bit over the lip. So once this is glued in, you want to make sure that your side panels are going to come off looking like in that position. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna slide this in, glue it in, and then I'll make sure that there's lip on the side because I don't want to start it off with this one. And once I do that, then I'll do the side here, and then those two sides over there. Now there is a missing piece over here. For now, I haven't printed that. Or I did print it, but mine kind of broke off, so I'm going to have to print a new one. And that's for the top part of the starboard side docking ring. So this is now the lower part of the starboard side docking ring. Again, do this one first, then this one, slide it in. Glue it. Make sure you leave a lip on the sides so that this goes in from under and fills it up. Same thing as this one. Okay. Same thing on this side and this side. Now